This call is being recorded.
organizations, and he always brings his special blessing to the table. You know, he is able to give us some great business insight with spiritual guidance. And so, without any further ado, like I said, Pastor Dan, if you are, oh, there he is. All right, great. I see him here. Um, you are unmuted. Go ahead and take it away, sir.
All right, all right, all right. Good morning, y'all. I trust and pray all is well. What's happening, my Kathy, Watty? I trust and pray you are doing absolutely fantabulous.
Yes, I am. On day 2 of a 7-day cleanse.
Oh, come on now. See, you know why we need to all cleanse. See, Kathy, every time we get on the line, I have something in mind, and then you say something that messed me up, but I'm going to do what I had in mind. But I'm going to tell you why we all need a cleanse. I'm going to tell you why we all need a cleanse. Because we full of it. We all are full of it. We walk around and we're full of it. And some people may get an attitude. Ooh, Coach Dan said I was full of it. Coach Dan said, Pastor Dan said I was full of it. And you know you full of it. I know you full of it. And guess what, y'all? I'm full of it too. And that's why not only do I have to do physical detoxes and cleanses, but I have to do spiritual detoxes and cleanses, which is what they call fasting and praying. Amen. Sometimes we don't have clarity in life because we satisfy more of our, never mind, let me get into what I came here for. I came here today to hit the refresh button on some things that you've heard, and I know we have new people that have joined us since we've taught some of these principles. And so for some of you, what I'm going to teach you today is going to be considered, for some of you, what I'm going to teach you today is going to be considered a repeat, not necessarily a repeat, information you know. And for others, it's going to be considered what's called new information. Or I may give some of y'all the same soup warmed over. But I guarantee you, whatever I give you in this moment, it's going to be helpful for you to accomplish the very things that you desire to accomplish and be successful. True enough, I come with inspiration. I come with motivation. I come with a little bit of education and all of that. But today, I want to come with some things that is essential for you to become the number one salesperson on the planet. Yeah, I want to help you to become essential. I'm going to give you some things that are essential. I was talking to a client of mine on yesterday, and in my conversation with her, she was telling me how her company makes so much money that at the end of the year, instead of giving it away for taxes, here's what they do. They actually start buying stuff. They buy trucks, they buy cars and all of that because they don't want to give the money away. And I said to her, I said, next time you in that position, and she said, we're in that position just about every year. I said, number one, you're doing great. But number two, consider my non-for-profit. and instead of blowing it on stuff you don't need, help me meet a need. So that's what I was telling her. And then as we were talking, she began, she's having some challenges with her spouse. Her spouse had a massive stroke. They're a young couple. And as a result, she has been away from her business, and her business partners have been covering things for the past 6 or 7 months because she's now a full-time caretaker. So when I began to think about this, I said, she began to talk about her role. And I said, what is your role? And she says, well, I'm really the relationship person. I'm the one that go out and really get the business. And I said, and so she began to talk about that. And she said, so, but the past 6 months, I've been kind of away. However, what has been happening over the past 6 months since she's been away is her customer base has still been solid. And intermittently, she's able to continue to build it. Why? Because one of the secret sauces in building any business, and one of the secret sauces of sales, is that you have to build strong relationships. Now, you know, Coach Dan, that's number one. Coach Dan always say 95% of all healthy business relationships is relationship, and the other 5% is business. So that means when you focus more on the relationship and building a healthy relationship, the business will work itself out. Now, that doesn't mean you can't deliver a strong product. You could go without delivering a strong product or a strong service. But what that means is people do business with people they feel warm and fuzzy about. They like to come out of their pocket. I'll give you an example. One of my largest clients for our construction and real estate business, we have to bid on jobs. They have to get 3 bids for every project. And pretty much they have concluded that 75% of the projects that we bid on, that they're going to give us. Why? Because they like us. That's what they tell us. They like us. They love working with us. When they like you and love working with you, they want to pay you. They can't wait to pay you and all those kind of things. And but that's because of the relationship that has been built. Are y'all understanding? So building, number one, build strong relationships. Engage with potential clients by building trust with them, building rapport with them. Understand what their needs are, and then demonstrate that you genuinely care about solving their problems. And so what that simply means is when you're talking to them, when you're engaging with them, you have to show compassion. You have to show empathy. You have to show care. You have to be passionate, not about what's in it for you, but you have to be passionate about what's in it for them. And so that means even after the sale, sometimes we lose a client because we never follow back up with the client after we sold the client. There's always something new that's happening. And so if you keep the relationship warm, if you say on Monday is going to be my on Friday, follow up Friday, I'm following up with all clients that I've pitched and have not said yes, clients that I've pitched and said yes, clients that I haven't spoke to in a while. I'm following up with them because I want to check on them. I want to see how you're doing. And when you follow up with them, don't follow up with them to sell them nothing. Follow up. Now, of course, if you've pitched them and they told you to follow back up with them, you want to have those conversations. But if you're following up with a client and you pitched them or what have you, you want to make certain, and you've already sold them, right now you're calling in as a customer service rep. You're calling in just to see that they're doing okay and check in and check up and check on. Okay? So that's one of the things you want to do. You want to just build relationships. Number two, you want to be able to target your audience. So for me, one of the things that I found in sales early on is that everybody is not my target market. And even when I was in radio advertising, when we write commercials, there was 2 types of commercials. One, we called it the kitchen sink commercial, and the other commercial, we called it our target commercial. What was the target commercial? We focused on one spot, one thing. So when you're talking with individuals, we get excited about telling everybody we got an entire menu of a bunch of stuff that we can sell them. But how many of you ever went to a restaurant and the menu had so many items on it, you became overwhelmed? And you may have just picked something off that menu just to pick something because you got tired of looking at it. And you may not go back to that restaurant, not because the restaurant is not a good restaurant, but because it's so many items on the menu, it's too much to choose from. Yeah. And so that happens. So what you want to do is you want to be able to understand who is your target market. Who should you be targeting? Who should you focus in on when it comes to prospecting for new clients? Who should that be? So that means you got to understand your industry. You got to understand the products that you're selling. You got to understand the problems that your products and or services is solving. And then you got to begin to go look for those individuals that got that problem. Is this making sense to you? You got to look for those individuals that have that problem. And what I found on social media, y'all, I found that every problem group got a group. What do you mean by that, Dan? Every problem group got a group. So if you got a problem with some aspect of your health, there's a group for it. You know, I'm willing to bet right now, and I have not put this to the test, that if I go out there somewhere in social media land and I wanted to find a group that is looking to manage their hypertension, their high blood pressure with natural medicine and natural remedies, I'll probably find that group. And so now, how would I utilize this? I would utilize that group by understanding what products that I have or services that I have. So we understand that part of hypertension is comes from stress and things of that nature. So I'll look at all of those things, and then I'll begin to target that group. But when I target that group, I'm not going to come in with a sales pitch. I'm going to come into that group, and I'm going to be a part of that group's community. I'm going to make positive contributions in that group. I'm going to warm that group up or what have you. They're going to begin to understand my voice via social media or I'm going to comment on what other people are saying. I'm developing a relationship. I'm not getting ready to have intimacy with them. I am just courting them. Y'all got to catch what I'm saying. There's all grown folk on the phone. I'm taking them out, if you will, through my engagement and interaction for social media. And so when I do that, after a while, somebody's going to make mention of a problem, or somebody's going to introduce this, or I may say, hey, for those of you that's in this area, I found this wonderful place that does, soul care. I'm just throwing some stuff out there for y'all to think about that does soul care. And I'm actually going to be going on this particular date. I'd love to invite some of you guys to come out and see how we can help reduce some stress and get our blood pressure low. So y'all see what I'm saying? This is how you do it. I didn't just sell them nothing. I didn't sell them anything. I just said, hey, I found something that can solve a problem that we all got. And that's to get rid of some of this stress. I don't know if this is making sense. Y'all will tell me in a second, though. And so that's number two. The third thing is you got to be able to not have a templated talk. What does that mean? Not have a templated talk. Not have a templated sales pitch. Not have a templated package. What does that mean? You got to be able to customize your communication with your prospective client that will address their specific needs. What are their pains? What are their fears? What are their desires? What are their goals? And then now when you're able to customize it, when you're able to personalize it, what this does is it shows that you, number one, that you've done your homework. Number two, it positions you as an expert in the field. And number three, you speak directly to them about what they need and not about what you're trying to sell them. Hopefully this is making sense. So number one, giving it back to you, build strong relationships. Number two, research and identify prospects. Number three, you want to make certain you customize your presentation. Number four, the fortune is in the follow-up. One of the things that I was terrible at in sales when I was out there aggressively selling was I was terrible at following up. And I was terrible at following up, I believe, because of two conditions. One was a mental condition, and the other one was an emotional condition. Y'all gonna catch this in a minute. I'm not by myself. The one that was a mental condition I would call ADHD. Listen, by the time I spent all this time in trying to sell you and you didn't buy within that first or second call, I got bored with you. I moved on. And I'm telling you, that's not good. Because there used to be clients that I had started and I had sowed the seed with, but I got bored with and moved on. And when new salespeople would come on, I say, hey, listen, you can follow up with them. I talked to them 6 months ago or 3 months ago, and they just wasn't ready, but maybe they're ready. And I'm just giving leads away, and then I'll wind up having to go back in with the new salesperson and close the deal. Or they'll go out on their own and meet the person and close the deal. But it's because my ADHD would not allow me to follow up with them. And the other one was an emotional issue called rejection. I didn't like being rejected. So I wasn't going to let you tell me no multiple times. You tell me no the first time, I'm going to go. And so all of that stuff, I know I'm not by myself. I got about 3 people on the call right now that have struggled with that. Your attention span is not good enough to keep following up with the same person over an extended period of time, and or your emotional stability in dealing with rejection. You don't know how to handle rejection, so guess what? You don't put yourself out there to be rejected on multiple times. But you got to know that the fortune is in the follow-up. Persistence is the key. Following up regularly with your prospects, and it can be via phone, it can be via email. You can have meetings and just don't do it as if you're nagging Nelly. You're just following up, and every time you follow up, you're following up because the last time you followed up, they told you to follow up. So your call when hey, listen, hey, Johnny, I'm just giving you a call back. I know we spoke on Friday and you told me today at this particular time was a better day. So I wanted to reach out to you and be obedient to what your instructions were. See, I put it all back on them. And so that's that one. And the last one, because I got to go, so I'm going to stop right here, and I tell you all the time, referrals are your friends. Ask for referrals. Because after anybody that tells you yes, anybody that tells you they see the value in what you're selling them or giving to them, they probably know about 5 or 10 people that can also provide, that also need your services or products. So what you want to do is you want to ask them for referrals. We understand that word of mouth and recommendations from trusted sources helps generate more leads and build credibility than any other way, any other form of marketing. The truth is 100% of my business today is based on word of mouth. It's based on referrals. I really don't advertise. We're going to start. You guys are going to see more of us out there starting, but I really don't advertise. And that's because our goals have become aggressive. So in order to meet our goals, we got to do something different. But listen, I'm going to stop right there. Number 1, I'll give you these again, build strong relationships. Number 2, research and identify prospects. Number 3, customize your presentation. Number 4, the fortune is in the follow-up. And number 5, referrals are your friend. I hope this was helpful for you today. And if you implement these strategies, you'll see it will be helpful for you tomorrow. All right, Miss Kathy, back to you.
Awesome. I just joined a couple of high blood pressure groups myself. I love it. I can't say anything else but that. Guys, see, this is why you got to show up every morning. You never know what you're going to pick up, especially on Tuesday mornings. Coach Dan, you have knocked it out of the park again. This was very valuable information. I love your energy today. And so I definitely jumped right on that immediately. So thank you so much.
That's that granddad energy, Kathy. That's that granddad energy. You know, I'm a new
congratulations.
Granddad.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So now I got to go get back and get young again so I could go chase this girl around. So
I've been seeing the pictures.
Yeah. So y'all be blessed. Have a supernaturally wonderful day. And until next time, as always, prosper.
Sorry, guys.